Alright everyone, it's Jared from TechWorks here, and today we are going to talk about the Pixel 2 XL and the iPhone 10. So this is going to just be a quick little speed comparison as far as, what simple apps open up the quickest. Going to talk a little bit about the different cameras. I'm going to show some picture samples in the video and just kind of go over some key benefits to either phone. So just going to make sure all the apps are closed on both phones. We gotta hold and do all of this here. A little different than other iPhones, but we'll swipe through. Had a bunch of apps open on the old Pixel. We're just gonna clear all and we're ready to go. So it's not gonna be very scientific. I'm not gonna time it. I'm not gonna set a stopwatch here. We're just gonna open up the phone. So I'd say the iPhone opened up just a little bit quicker. Gonna open up messages. That time it was the Pixel. We are going to go to the App Store on both. Live airplane mode on this, so hold on, let me turn airplane mode off. We'll try this again. Let me make sure that the apps are cleared again. Oh, settings. Sorry. Just got a few little things here. Just go back. Okay. Let's try the App Store again. So the iPhone went right to the update screen really quickly. The Pixel took a second to load and then went to the home screen. I wouldn't say it's a huge deal, but it is a difference. Let's check the clock. iPhone had it beat. Let's go to the browser. So this is going to be Safari, this is Chrome. So the Pixel loaded up the Amazon page quicker than the iPhone loaded up a USPS tracking. So I can't say that either were necessarily quicker, but Google Chrome did seem to be faster. Now they are both connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Let's look at the photos real quick. About the same. Let's look at calendar. iPhone had it beat by a considerable margin. Let's check YouTube. So absolutely the Pixel had it beat there. And we were going to do my Nest app. So Nest was definitely quicker on the Pixel. So you kind of get the gist. We'll try calculator for the last one. Both were almost identical. So the thing with both of these phones, they're both extremely fast. This is Google's latest offering. This is Apple's latest offering. They're not going to be slow. The Pixel has 4 gigs of RAM. This is the 128 storage. This is the iPhone 10 256. I believe they're rumoring around 3 gigabytes of storage. Or 3 gigabytes of RAM, sorry. They're both really fast. Little ones are going to be quicker here and there. Overall experience, very snappy on both devices. Your apps tray on the Pixel is very fluid, swiping back and forth on the iPhone. There's no problems there at all. Both are, great phones. The difference comes into what you prefer. So here's where the differences take place. So this has a little bit more bezel, as you can see. Screen is a little bit more, it is edge to edge technically, but it is not necessarily all the way up to the top. So you got a little bezel here, bezel up here, and a little bit of a side one, not huge. The difference being the Pixel has dual front-facing speakers, which everyone really loves to have some nice speakers, where the iPhone has a very edge-to-edge display coming all the way down to the bottom, but you have the notch. Now, when I used this for a solid month, I couldn't really see where the notch was a big deal for me. Some people may think it's awful, some people might not care. It's going to be personal preference, really. But, it's just different design philosophies. This phone, you have the fingerprint sensor on the back. You have one camera with a flash right next to it. iPhone, of course, you have the dual setup, flash in the middle. You have the wide angle and the telephoto. So, it's a great camera setup. The way you get bokeh effect on the Pixel is through software, and this does it through the lenses. Again, just different in design. Just a quick, I'll show you how fast the cameras load. 3, 2, 1. Pixel beat that one. You know, really, it's a lot to do with animation speed. I mean, actually, if I had the OnePlus 5 T sitting here, it would probably smoke both of these just because the animations are much quicker. They're not as, I guess, animated. You know, iPhone always has a, you know, like a zooming in gesture. And honestly, Pixel has like this swipe up sort of thing going on. Basically, you know, a 6 one half dozen the other. They're great in their own respects. Both are IP67 water and dust resistant. Both do not have headphone jacks. iPhone does have a somewhat dual speaker setup. You have the down firing one over here, plus like the tweeter coming out of your earpiece. This will definitely get louder, and it should sound better because it's in your face versus kind of this down up. You know, if you're holding your phone like this, you might muffle this bottom speaker a bit. You know, really, they're great. I'm gonna be posting a video shortly saying, you know, kind of my month review after using the iPhone 10 and why I may or may not be switching from it. Neither of them are truly, I'd say, lacking in anything. People will say, well, the headphone jack, yeah, you could both put the headphone jack on them. People would be happy, but, you know, again, Bluetooth and wireless is definitely a way of the future. It's definitely, headphone jack is going to be phased out. You know, more and more OEMs are taking that out. The pictures are fantastic. I'll link some photos right here. So basically, you know, I saw more consistent, nice bokeh effect photos out of the Pixel versus a lot of times the iPhone had a hard time distinguishing what was foreground and what was background. A lot of times you'd have a blurred foreground, then you see your subject unblurred and the background was also kind of blurred, or that blur would kind of creep up into the subject. The Pixel, I'd say the whole blurring is less, but I'd say on average it was more consistent. Now, that's not saying that the iPhone had bad bokeh photos. I actually have some very good portraits with great lighting that the iPhone took. Now, I haven't had the Pixel for that long to take it outside and shoot, as the weather's kind of been nasty. So some of the pictures I have are mostly indoors with, you know, indirect lighting and things like that, doing the best I can to show the differences. But I know from having the first Pixel and from seeing samples, this phone all around, I would say, is more consistent as far as bokeh. This one can be real hit or miss. It can be really, really great, you know, professional looking, or kind of messed up and not so professional looking. As far as actual photos, I have a couple lowlights that I'm going to put in, and what you see in the low light is, I'd say the color accuracy is a little more accurate on the iPhone. As far as the red of my shirt looks more of the true color in the iPhone, but if you notice in the back, the lamp is actually, the whites are blown out, meaning the lamp is kind of, the detail is lost. The Pixel definitely has a cooler tone, but you can see all the details of the lamp, all the details of the wall, where you lose a lot of the detail here. Again, it's a trade-off. Outside, both of these cameras take great shots. I'll link a picture of my truck that I took. Both look amazing, you know, in their own way. I would say, you know, according to DxOMark, of course, take those reviews with a grain of salt. These phones are within 1 point of each other. So, you know, they're very close. They both have very good strengths. Pixel is said to be really great in low light, where iPhone is getting better in low light. You know, it's really just a toss-up of conditions, what you're shooting at, your subject, all different things. This can shoot 4K at 60 frames. The Pixel can shoot 4K at 30 frames. Are you really going to notice a difference? No. If you're going to do some action sports, yeah, you'll probably notice a difference, but they're both going to look amazing. This has dual image OIS, optical image stabilization. This has EIS, and I'm not actually sure if it has OIS or not. I'll make sure I put a little annotation if it does down below or in the video itself. Either way, Pixel software for post-processing is great. That's where all the bokeh comes from, the HDR comes from, the special chip inside the phone which handles HDR, which in the new Android update 8.1 is going to actually be turned on. So I'm anxious to see what that brings as far as photography is concerned. But you know, different gimmicks as far as the phone's concerned. You have the squeeze for Google Assistant on this phone, so you give a little squeeze, there's Google Assistant. Of course, with this, you have the face unlock, you have Animoji, and things of that nature. You know, they both have strengths and weaknesses, and right now, as you can see, my face unlock isn't working. Again, this wasn't, face unlock isn't a perfect science yet. It's getting there. It's good. It's decent. But they both have, different benefits. iMessage on this phone. You have Android messages, Google Photos, unlimited storage of high quality photos, original size photos and video until 2021, which then they just stop uploading in full quality. You keep reduced quality. So either way, you're going to be in good shape if you pick either of these phones. And so this definitely was not under 7. Turned out to be a lot longer than that, but I just did want to touch on the photo aspect of both of these phones. Again, be on the lookout for some more videos. I'm anxious to review the OnePlus 5T in comparison. For the $520 some odd phone compared to the $1,000 plus phone, you could buy almost 3 for the actual cost of this phone with AppleCare. I'm looking forward to seeing how that compares. And of course, Google Pixel, always a heavy hitter. So there you have it. This was Jared from TechWorks, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye.